today we're going to be working on some skill moves, but not just any skill moves, because in this video we're going to be working on 5 of Neymar Jr.'s signature skills.
Yes, I did.
So Neymar's style of play involves a lot of tricks and skills, and that's very typical of a lot of Brazilian players. And we can see there's a big influence on futsal in the way that he plays. So he grew up in the streets of Brazil, manipulating that ball in tight spaces, playing on hard courts, where you really had to protect that ball. So a lot of his skill moves use the sole of his foot and a lot of step overs. So let's move into the first skill move that we're going to work on today. And this move really put Neymar on the map. It's the goal he scored in 2011 against Flamengo, and it's the final skill move that he performed right before he put the ball in the back of the net. So it's a very quick move, and what we're using is the sole of our foot with a quick snap from our opposite foot. So this is step 1, it's just a basic sole roll. All we're doing is rolling the ball to the inside of our body. So you can work on it with the right foot or the left foot, whichever you prefer. So step 1 is rolling the ball to the inside. Step 2 is stepping around that ball with the same foot. So as we roll the ball, we're actually going to move our foot around that ball. So it's almost to protect it and make the defender think we're going to be going to one side. So as we roll, we're stepping around that ball. And step 3 is the final step of the move, and this is the one that catches the defender out, because typically with the step over, as you step over the ball, you usually go in the opposite direction. You're using that step over to fake the defender to thinking you're going to one side and then taking it the opposite way. But what Neymar does with this move, as he steps over the ball, instead of taking it the opposite way, he then snaps his foot again and continues in the same direction that he was performing the step over. He performs the snap with the inside of his opposite foot. So it's just a light touch out into the space, and this is the way he exits past the defender. So let's piece it all together one more time. So it's step around the ball and then chopping with the inside of our opposite foot. So now let's perform it a little bit quicker. So we have the ball, step, and you're away. So moving on to the next skill move, this is a very futsal influence move once again, but Neymar is excellent at performing this in an 11-a-side match. So this is the step-by-step process. So step 1, we put our foot on top of the ball, whether it's your strong foot or your non-dominant foot, it's completely up to you. And then we're going to drag that ball back. So step 1 is dragging that ball back directly towards us, and step 2 is when we drag that ball back, we're going to put our foot to the side of the ball and push it with the inside of our foot, kind of like an L drag. So we push that ball back, and then we push it to the inside, and then we're going to trap it with the other foot. And then step 3 is just using the inside of that opposite foot once again to snap the ball away, and he uses this quite a lot to exit a lot of 1v1 situations when he's up against a defender. So this is what it looks like a bit quicker. Move number 3 has a few similarities for the first two, but it is slightly different, especially the way he exits the move. So this is the step-by-step process of move number 3. So what we're doing is we're going to have the ball out in front of us, and we're going to put our foot on top of the ball. Again, you'll notice with a lot of these moves, it starts with a sole roll. That's a very futsal influence kind of style of play, and this is something Neymar's adapted into his game. So what we're going to do is put our foot on top of the ball, and we're going to roll it across our body this time. Step 2, once we've dragged that ball to the inside, we then step over it with the other foot. So we drag to the inside, and then our opposite leg steps over the ball. So step into it. Moving into the final step, roll, step, and then the same leg that we rolled with, so for me it was my right foot, is coming behind the standing leg and hooking it with the laces out into the space. So this is what it looks like. So we roll, step over, and then hooking it with the laces, and that's how we exit the move. So let's look at it one more time a bit quicker. So roll, step, and off we go. So moving on into the fourth skill move, This is very similar to number 2. So number 2, we were L dragging it and then we snapped it out. For this one, it's a little bit different. We're actually going to do almost like a Ronaldo chop and then snap it out. So it's very similar, but Neymar uses this in more central positions, I've noticed. So he uses it in a situation where he's getting closed down by 2 players, and he kind of uses it to split them. So the defender comes in from this side, he kind of takes the ball away from that defender with the Ronaldo chop, then the defender's coming from this side, and he takes it away from that defender with the snap on the inside. So let's break this one down step by step. So the first move is having the ball out on one side. So whether it's your left side or your right side, you want it out at slightly an angle so that you can perform that Ronaldo chop. And the Ronaldo chop is just using the inside of our foot, almost flicking it to the inside. So get used to using this action. We're flicking it to our inside. So once we get comfortable doing that, we're then going to involve a hop, and our opposite leg's going to go around the ball. So kind of like this. So that's more of a Ronaldo chop kind of action, snapping it to the inside, and the other foot is stepping around the ball mid-flight. So it's a hopping action, all in one motion. So moving on into the final step, which he uses to escape the situation. Again, it's just that inside chopping action that we've performed in previous moves. So let's piece it all together. So we chop it to the inside, and then we're snapping the ball out and escaping. So upon that final touch, that's when we accelerate. So one more time, snap, and then to the inside. So let's look at it one more time a bit quicker. So balls out to the side, chop, and escape. So moving on into the 5th and final skill move of this episode, and Neymar used this one in a charity match. So I've not seen him perform it in a normal match, however it was very skillful and it's a good one to work on. So this is the step-by-step breakdown of it. So what we're going to be doing is, we're going to step over the ball with the opposite foot to our dominant foot. So for me, that's my left, so I'm going to be stepping over that ball, around the front of it. So step over that ball. Step number 2, as we step over that ball, we actually do a little touch with the foot that's trailing. So if I step over with my left, my right foot's trailing, and with the top of my foot on the laces, just a little nudge forward. Now let's move into step number 3. So we stepped over that ball, small touch forward, and as that ball's coming forward, we step over again, this time with our dominant leg. So it's 2 step overs with a little touch in between. So step over with the left, little touch, step over with the right, and then you're away. So one more time, a little bit quicker. So those are all the skill moves that I have for you today. Have fun trying these ones out, practice them on your mates, even in a match if you're feeling confident. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure you smash that like button for me, hit that subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.